Hello everyone, it's Seiji, and today I will be talking about The Deep by Rivers Solomon with David Diggs, Jonathan Snipes and William Hudson. A sincere thank you to Saga Press for a copy of this book. This was one of my most anticipated books of the year. The Deep is a fantasy story inspired by a song from the group Clipping, and it draws from history. During the slave trade, when slaves were brought from Africa to America by boat, they would throw overboard all the pregnant slaves because they were seen as inconvenient cargo. The Deep reimagines this horrific event, envisioning the children of these slaves surviving on the water and creating a society. I think it's so incredibly powerful to take something so tragic and then transform it into a story about perseverance. An alternative history in which the descendants of these women get to live and prosper underwater. The story focuses on Yetsi, who is the historian of her people, the Wajinru. This, by the way, translates to the song or chorus of the deep. Their past being too painful to regularly remember, Yetsi has the sole duty to remember their history. As you can imagine, carrying 600 years worth of memories that include a lot of pain is not a small task. Caving under the weight of her responsibility, Yetsi flees to the surface. And through this journey, she learns more than she ever expected about the past and future of her people. I really like this story, though at the start I was struggling a bit because there were a lot of words that I was stumbling over. I had no idea what they meant, so I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be above my reading level? But then after 20 or 30 pages, everything was fine and it was really smooth sailing from then on. I actually enjoyed Solomon's writing. It's very beautiful. The story building was super cool and I really enjoyed the way the story was structured. The book shifts back and forth through time, so whilst you're reading about Yetsi, you also get to learn more about the history of the Wajinru and how the position of the historian came to be. I love a good origin story and this one was really good. I think it's so unique in the way that these mere people communicate through electricity and they live in the depths of the ocean so they can't see with their eyes. There were so many things, even only anatomically, that made these characters very interesting. The most interesting thing for me were definitely the memories. By carrying all these memories for 20 years, Yetsi has been completely consumed by them and she doesn't know where they end and she starts. As a consequence, Yetsi is more a shell of a person than anything else. But it was very exciting to see how inquisitive she became after she reached the surface, and I would definitely not mind a sequel that really focuses on Yetsi as a character. This was actually a really quick read. It has about 170 pages, so I don't want to talk too much about it so I don't spoil everything. But there was one thing that really resonated with me, and that was the question of whether or not it is good to remember your history. And it's funny because a couple of days ago I was talking on Instagram about how hard it is for me to read a lot of Black literature because our history is embedded in so much pain that it's just hard and painful to read about it. And this book showed that even though your history might be painful, it is still very important to remember it. Because in the end, it's hard to know who you are if you refuse to learn about the people who came before you. And most importantly, you don't have to carry this history on your own. Sharing in this common heritage can provide a lot of solace, and I think that's really beautiful. That's everything I had to say with regards to The Deep. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section, and before I end this video, I would just like to read a part of a poem written by Lucille Clifton. Atlantic is a sea of bones, my elegant Afrikaans connecting Widder and New York, a bridge of ivory. Seabed, they call it. In its arms my early mothers sleep. Some women leapt with their babies in their arms. Some women wept and threw the babies in. Maternal armies paced the Atlantic floor. I call my name into the roar of surf, and something awful answers. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.